E aí, gente, tudo bem? Eu sou o Rick Meirelles, sejam bem-vindos ao meu canal de Viela de Roda aqui no YouTube. Hoje eu tô aqui para bater um papo com alguém muito especial mesmo, nem tô acreditando que esse papo vai rolar. Eu vou falar com Anna Murphy, do Cellar Darling, né? Muita gente já deve conhecer ela, porque ela era a antiga Hurdy-gurdy player do Elevate, né? Que hoje em dia é a Mihalina Males, com quem eu também falei aqui no canal, vocês podem procurar depois o vídeo. Tirei um tempinho para bater um papo com a Anna Murphy e falar sobre os projetos dela, né? Ela, além de tocar viola de roda, ela toca outros instrumentos, ela compõe muito bem e ela também é engenheira de som, o que é muito incomum, né? E é isso, fica aí que a gente já começa.
How are you there?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you for being here and talking to me. I'm here with my Cellar Darling background.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So first, for people who don't know you or people who know you a bit, can you tell us a little bit of how you discovered the hurdy-gurdy?
Oh, that was quite a while ago. It must be about 15 years ago when I discovered the instrument at like a medieval folk festival. And I just heard the sound and I completely fell in love with it. I grew up in a musical family. I grew up surrounded by singers and opera, and so it was kind of clear that I would steer towards a musical direction at some point. It was just a question of time.
Alright.
And I've always liked weird, unusual things. Like I never wanted to do the things that most of the others do, and hurdy-gurdy
Alright.
is a perfect choice.
Yeah. Was it easy to get your first instrument?
It wasn't at all. I rented one because it's something that you should really know that you want before getting an actual instrument. So I rented one at Schola Cantorum, which is a high school for old music in Basel, and it was like a really traditional instrument. If you can imagine what I mean by that.
Yeah.
It was very small, just the melody strings are just two G's, like a high G, not a
I
nice
see.
form.
Yeah.
It was, and really scratchy, and just this, the sound as we know it from like this traditional medieval music. It
I
didn't have
see.
a case, so I just transported it in the suitcase.
And learning it, was it fun? Was it difficult? Did you enjoy it? How did you feel about it? Learning the instrument.
I really enjoyed learning it actually because it was quite under special circumstances. I played it for 3 months. I took some lessons to just learn the basics of it, and then I mostly played just traditional music, andros and stuff like that. French music mostly. After 3 months, a good friend of mine told me that Helveti are looking for a hurdy-gurdy player. I know the band. I knew that it's like folk metal, something like that. And then I met up with Kriegel, and then that's how I basically learned the instrument because I had to learn their songs.
Yeah.
And it was completely out of my league, obviously. I really had to practice a lot, but it was very fun. That's what made it fun, basically, because I kind of learned it by playing these really original, basically.
Nice. Nice, because then you ended up getting your own signature playing, basically, right? Your own way of playing it, which is awesome. And when Cellar Darling came up, then did your relationship with the instrument change? Because now you're playing many things. If you watch a Cellar Darling show, you just move around. And how was that? Was it natural? Did you think about it?
I think it was pretty natural. Since I was not the main songwriter in Helveti, but just kind of pitched in here and there, it wasn't really my, music, which was completely fine.
Yeah.
But if I write songs, the main element is not going to be folk in the sense that we know it, not traditional folk, which you can clearly hear in Cellar Darling. I'm really inspired more by actually classical music, these really epic harmonies like that Queen uses, for instance.
Yeah.
It was also inspired by classical music, basically, and, well, obviously blues and all that. yeah, so I kind of had to figure out how to incorporate the
Yeah.
hurdy-gurdy, and I think it works pretty fine. Like I use it more like a guitar, I
Mm-hmm.
play solos, distorted solos. We found out that actually sounds really cool,
Yeah.
and it's really it works well because Evo actually doesn't really enjoy guitar solos,
Mm-hmm.
and so I can kind of take that place, but with a really unique instrument because
Mm-hmm.
do we really need another guitar solo?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
nothing against that. There's a lot out there. So we really found this unique way of incorporating it.
Yeah.
But what we also noticed is it's not enough. The hurdy-gurdy alone is not enough to fill,
Mm-hmm.
all these things we want to tell with our music, which is
Yeah.
why, it needs the piano, it needs the flute, whatever I can get my hands on.
Yeah, and well, I think I saw a post from your Instagram. Have you been playing the nickel harper? Are you studying the nickel harper? Is that it?
I'm trying.
Yeah. It's freaking difficult, right?
I don't think I underestimated it, but I had this romantic vision of me, just kind of learning it
Mm-hmm.
during the lockdown, but it's really hard, to get used to the bow.
The bow, yeah.
It's really scratchy. It's pretty difficult, and also the way you hold it. Like every time I play for more than a minute, it starts hurting. So I think
Yeah.
at some point I'll have to get someone to give me some tips.
Yeah, but it's awesome. It's a beautiful sound,
Yes.
right? It's the distant cousin from the hurdy-gurdy. And when you write songs, Anna, do you go to a specific instrument? Do you go to the piano? Is it on the hurdy? What's your go-to instrument when you're writing a song?
It's a complete mess. Anything. If it starts out with a melody, then I'll just record the melody first, and I'll have the chords in my head anyways. And I used to program a lot, also guitars and bass lines, and I'm trying to steer away from that because it's a pain in the ass. It's not really fun, and it's not, you don't train anything. Like I'd rather, actually play the bass or actually try and play the guitar or whatever, because then I get something from it as well. Like I'm practicing.
Sure.
And not just, putting in these little boxes on the computer.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the little boxes on the computer, you also work as a sound engineer, which is awesome. Like to me, it's a complete mystery. Whenever I see those softwares and everything that goes on the screen, I just can't understand what happens there. And then how was that for you? How did you become a sound engineer? Such an awesome job.
I've always been really interested in the subject itself, and I started kind of playing around with my own demos, figuring out how to record at home and how to kind of mix. I basically, what I did in the beginning was just add compression and reverbs, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that's what made me really interested, though. And then I started out as an apprentice at the sound farm. That's actually where I am right now. This used to be my boss's control room, and I just assisted and made coffee, and in return he kind of learned me the basics of recording and sound and microphones, and so I didn't go to a school or anything. But
nice.
I think if you take that approach, it's not necessary.
Yeah, sure.
There's always something that you can learn anyways, and so now I'm here and I absolutely love it. It's the best job in the world. I'm so
nice
that I can do this.
And well, your bandmates are lucky as well to have a sound engineer in the band. I mean,
although I don't produce our music by myself.
Okay.
I produced it with Tommy Vetterli.
Nice.
Who's been a producer since the very beginning. I think if I would have to do this by myself, it would never be finished. So I'm really happy to have him.
You have already told me once that you don't listen to a lot of hurdy-gurdy music, right? But when you do, are there any players that you like particularly?
Yes, Efren Lopez.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. It's
He's
really good.
amazing. I actually took some lessons with him
Oh, cool.
during the lockdown.
And how was it?
It was cool. He showed me a lot of great stuff, especially things that I'm just too lazy to just teach myself. And the cool thing about taking lessons is you don't want to look like an idiot. So you kind of have to practice.
Yeah.
And he's such a sweetheart. He's such a great person and so incredibly talented.
Yeah.
And I don't only love his playing, but also the music that he writes.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. So yeah, definitely him.
I was going to take his workshop in January in Germany, but then, well, the apocalypse came and then I had to cancel it. But I was really looking forward to it. Yeah, but that's okay. Yeah, I agree. He's amazing. And something else, the last time I talked to you, you guys were in Brazil with Cellar Darling, and you guys had a terrible long day. I think you guys came from São Paulo to Rio to play, and everything was late. I think it was raining, but it was an awesome concert. It was really, really good, and people loved it. So I'd like to hear from you a little bit from like Brazil. Do you guys enjoy when you come here? Is it true what they say that the audience, and not only in Brazil but in South America in general, they are a bit more passionate and etc.?
Yeah, definitely. We love Brazil. We already know it from Helvetia, obviously, from touring there. And yeah, when we saw you, that was such a weird day. I mean, basically, we just arrived and then we went on stage because everything was so delayed and we were so tired from just driving around in a van all day. But it was still, that's what I love about the audience, that it can just, lift you up. And the shows feel so effortless then. And it was actually, it was the first tour during which I played the piano. The keyboard live. I think yes, it was because we just wanted to get rid of all the backing tracks because I hate it. I don't think it fits to our music. I don't think it fits to progressive music in general to have too many. So that's why we just wanted to get rid of all of it. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. But then I kind of realized that's a really terrifying decision that I just made, because will I be able to handle all of the stuff? And so I was actually glad that I did it for the first time during a Latin America tour because of the audience.
That's nice.
It just makes you less nervous if the people are so welcoming and so energetic. It just feels like you have to work less, which you don't do, obviously. It's not like I don't try hard. It just feels like it's much easier.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. But it is overwhelming, I imagine, to go change instruments on stage. It's hard work. Well, congratulations. It was awesome. It was a great concert and you did it just fine. Finally, do you have any tips for people who want to start out playing the hurdy-gurdy, people who are looking for one, they are starting? Any tips, advice?
I think you need some patience with the instrument to just get acquainted to it. I think it would be good if you have the chance, if you can rent an instrument first or borrow one or whatever before you actually purchase one. Because what I don't recommend is to buy a really cheap instrument, because you're just not going to be very happy with that. It's really worth it to save up and invest a little bit of something for a proper instrument and then just enjoy it.
Yeah. All right, Anna, that's it. Just these questions. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope to see you guys soon and to hear from you guys soon as well. Right?
I really hope so too. And I hope that you're doing fine. I hope that we see each other at some point again.
Yeah.
And take care.
Okay, you too. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.